Hi, I'm Ray, G4NSJ, and this is my latest acquisition, HRO communications receiver. So just make a little video about this. I've never worked on one of these before, I know nothing about them. It all seems complete as far as I can see. I'll be putting some more information on the website G4NSJ.co.uk. Just go to the main menu and look under communications receivers and you'll see HRO along with a lot of others. Marconi, CR100, the R209 receiver, all that sort of stuff. So the manual is also there. Click on a link for the manual to this. HRO, American, made in Massachusetts. How about that? I'll show you the picture inside in a minute. Corroded here and there, but that doesn't matter. Bit of rust here and there. I saw one the other day a chap had restored. He'd take the front panel off, and I think that's fairly straightforward. You've got to take the meter off, of course, but I think all the pots and that are inside on the chassis, so I'm hoping the front panel will just come off. That's a coil pack. I won't take that out for the moment. You change, for the wave change, there's no switch, you change coil packs there, which is quite interesting. I've only got the one coil pack at the moment. A couple of local people have got several coil packs. I'm not too bothered about getting a load of them because what am I going to do with this? A friend of mine gave it to me, Roy. Thanks, Roy, if you're watching. You can have a look inside, like the CR100, the lid lifts up. There's a photo of underneath. You see that little output transformer? Can you see that down the bottom of the picture? There's a little transformer with some bell wire on it. These, for some strange reason, they don't have an audio output transformer fitted. So you've got the socket on the back for the speaker. It's basically HT, an anode of the output valve, which would normally go to the primary, wouldn't it, of the transformer. Well, the transformer is in the speaker cabinet. Why they did that, I have no idea. It seems odd. Anyway, there's a picture again, someone fitted that little output transformer there. Until I get the radio working, I don't know whether that's good enough or not. I might put a slightly larger one in there if I can find one. Also, what's happened with this one, this friend Roy, he said, oh, it's been modified for 12 volt heaters, 12.6 volt heaters rather than 6.3. And I thought they've either wired the 6.3 volt valves in series parallel to get 12 volts, or they've done something weird. I've never worked on one of these, so it's all completely new to me. I've seen them, but I've never actually had a go on one or worked on them at all. Never even looked inside. Nice S meter on the front. So, yeah, basically, the so-called modification is take the 6.3 volt heater valves out and plug in 12.6 volt heater valves. Valves are all identical except the heater voltage, and that's what someone's done. They put 12 volt heaters in here, which isn't a problem. I think the idea, from what I understand, is if you're out in the field or mobile, 12 volts obviously from your car battery, 12, 13 volts, great, there's your heater supply. If you want 6.3, you've got problems. I also read something about you can get other valves with 2.5 volt heaters, 2.5 volt. Why that? I don't know. Would that be a 2 volt accumulator or something? I've no idea. If anyone knows, let me know. Be interesting. We can share the info. Someone's drilled a hole there. Don't know why. So yes, that's the situation so far. The power leads, there are 4 wires underneath that have been cut off. That's heater and ground, HT and ground. So really you only need 3 wires, common ground. So I'm going to try and find later a transformer, or I might even have a little power supply somewhere, 12 volts and HT, which is for another project, just to fire it up and see if it actually does anything. There's a view in the top, so you can see what's going on there. It's quite a nice layout. There's not much underneath because, of course, there's no wave change switch or anything. But in the top there are 2 RF amplifier stages, which is unusual. You see the 4 tuning gangs. You got two RF amps, mixer and oscillator. So I don't know my way around this at all. As I said, there's a crystal filter which seems to be there. It's all in one piece as far as I can see. Are they all IF transformers? Presumably. Octal valves. Very easy to work on, which is good. Very easy to get at. So also the tuning here. There's the gearbox in there. This is good. A friend of mine would say often these are seized up, but this is good. Nice feel to that. No, a little bit of backlash there. Just a fraction of backlash, doesn't matter. So yes, I don't know what all the controls are as yet. I think there's RF gain, AF gain, aerial trimmer. I need to have a good look round. I believe it's 1939. They did manufacture them into the 40s, but I'm not sure. There were various, what was it, HRO-M, HRO-B or something. I've got to look into that, try and find a date somewhere on it. With no power supply built in, okay. With no audio output transformer in there, okay. No wave change switch, all the coil packs are separate, fair enough. It's just different. It's nice to have something that I've never even seen inside before. Something to get your brain ticking over. What's this? What's that bit do? What's this? It's interesting. So I believe it's 39, which is quite a while ago, isn't it? It's older than me, Struth. What else was I going to say about it? HRO, again from what I've read, so don't quote me, it was HOR, hell of a rush. Apparently the people that designed it were in a hell of a rush, so they called it HOR. Then they thought, it's not really appropriate, is it? It's a HOR radio, not really appropriate. So they changed it to HRO. Hell rush of, I suppose. I don't know. So yeah, that's interesting. The coil, let me just see if I can get that coil pack out to show you. There it is. So how do you tune this up when it's in there? What's this say on here? National HRO Inc. They're the contacts when you slide it in. They'll want cleaning, as will the contacts in there. Oh yes, I think you. Or can you get to this from underneath? I don't know how you would adjust these. They've got to be adjusted, presumably RF oscillator mixer, something like that, I don't know. And on the front you've got, well, it's upside down for a start. On the front you've got a little graph chart there. So you've got here, for example, here it says 190, 200, 210, 20, 30. These little numbers in here move around as you do that, and you can look it up. So dial 300 is 7 point something megs. All rather odd, isn't it? But that's the coil pack, which just slides in there like that. That's a bit tight. I won't force it. I think that's going to want a bit of lubrication on it. I've just discovered that you can adjust these down there. You need a long screwdriver, which I've got, and you can adjust the trimmers or whatever down there. So yeah, there's the adjustments. Oh, in fact, yeah, there's one there, one there, one there, and two there. So you can twiddle these. No adjustment. No, that's the only adjustments. Just to peak up the tune circuit. So look at that little badge there, National. So that's good. I was wondering how on earth you're meant to tune them up. As you saw from underneath, you can see a few old capacitors. If this is 1939, those capacitors are how old? I can't work that out. Older than me, so they will want replacing. No HT smoothing in here, of course. Or there might be one used halfway along the HT line, but because that's all in the power supply. So I just thought I'd show you that out of interest. Being American, with all due respect, why do you draw your circuit diagrams upside down? Look, I can't follow that. I'm used to the anode at the top and the cathode at the bottom. In fact, we've got, they're on their sides, aren't they? So you've got the HT rail at the bottom along with chassis ground, whereas we over here, this side of the pond, we have the HT rail at the top and the negative chassis at the bottom. Yeah, we call it HT, you call it B plus and B minus, don't you? HT is high tension, and the heaters we call LT, low tension. So it's very difficult for me to follow the circuit diagram. Not impossible, obviously, but I'm looking for an anode at the top, a cathode at the bottom, and it's not that way round, is it? Can you see that circuit there? I'll just see if I can zoom in a bit and show you a bit better. There you are. Anyway, it's all there. I can follow it. It's just not what I'm used to. Looks like the anode's on the right. And is it the cathode at the bottom? I'll have to have a closer look. I've had this before. Someone's written aerial trimmer there where that hole is. Yes, it's had a go. Someone's had a go, as well people do, don't they? Oh, that meter glass is pushed in. Oh dear. You know what that means, don't you? Take the meter out, take the meter apart, take the glass out, clean it all up, glue it down, push the glass back in. That's another job that will take me about 3 weeks. Well, perhaps half an hour. I don't know what these two, what are these? Oh, that's a switch. That's a pot. That's a pot. Very tight. Anyway, I'll sort all that out. So it's going to be quite an interesting project. Yeah, Roy, this friend of mine, he was going to have a go, and he said, I just haven't got the time. I haven't really. I still haven't quite finished the other one, the R209. Do you remember that one? There's a switch. When you put it to off position in the middle, there was some arcing. That's in the off. You turn the mains off. I think I did a quick video clip. Have a look. This is the on-off switch. You've got on with the light, off, and on without the light. When it's in the off position, there's something fizzing in the radio. I tracked it down to there, the back of the power socket. There's a carbon track that seems to have built up across the connecting pins there. I've scraped it off. I don't know why it should fizz and arc when the power's off. That's the connector at the front. And there it is at the back. So what I'm going to do is scrape a little bit more and clear the carbon track, and then drop some varnish in there, a little paintbrush, and put some varnish in there. Hopefully that will stop any further build up of a carbon track. The R209 is, what was it, did I say 1956, and this is 39, so a little bit difference in age, but there's always something. You know, on the R209 I'm thinking, right, get it back into its cabinet now. I'm going to install it over here on my sort of receiving area here. I've got the aerial switching unit there, so I can switch the mini whip aerial, you know, the active antenna to each receiver. But if I put it back in its case, I want to change the smoothing capacitors in the power supply, and I can't get to them. There's only a couple. I can't get to them. I've got to take out the selenium rectifier by the look of it to get to one of them, and to get to the other one I forget. I've got to take something else out. I've got to take the power to supply to bits basically. So I'm going to put this one to one side for a minute because I've got to finish that first. I can't have two on the go. So what I might do is take the meter out and fix that. These meter glasses always pushed in on the old military stuff, old ham. This isn't military, this is amateur radio, ham radio, made for the old American hams. And of course in its day, this was cutting edge technology, you know, seriously, I'm not joking, in its day it was. The HRO receiver was a fantastic bit of kit. But of course these days, well you can't compare, can you? There's no comparison. I would like to get that front panel off. Well, even all of it actually. And that's a hammer finish spray paint or whatever it is. And you know, have it all resprayed or try and spray it myself. Let's get it going first, shall we, before I start talking about the cosmetics. Let's get the thing working. Okay, that'll do for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. There will be more as I progress with this. Okay, that's it. Bye bye for now.